Good morning, dear students. How are you guys doing today? Let me tell you something. Yesterday, I went to the park with my family and played basketball. After that, we went to the mall and I bought a big teddy bear for my daughter. Later, I drove home and I gave the teddy bear to my daughter. She was very happy. So as you can um, see, today's class it's going to be simple past. We are going to be learning about past actions, and I'm going to tell you the class objectives for today. For listening, we will be able to recognize past expressions of time. For speaking, we will be able to talk about past situations. For reading, we will be able to scan context in which simple past is used. For writing, we will be able to use simple past to refer to a past situation that already happened. Okay? So I would like to uh, take your notebooks and you are going to draw a line. You're going to draw a line on your notebooks and you're going to divide that line in present, past, and future. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the past expressions, the past tense. Okay, I would like to start with the verb be. So when we talk about the past, the verb be, we have to change it. We have two different uses. We have was and where. We use was for I, he, she, it, and where for we and they. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples of was and where. For example, I was sick. She was happy. Jose was um, upset. My dog was scared. Now I'm going to give you examples with where. My parents were going home. They were at the park. We were home yesterday. Remember that was and where are for the verb be. I need you to write this down to your notebooks and so you can remember this grammar topic. All right, so now we are going to continue with the regular verbs. When we talk about the past, we have regular and irregular verbs. So for regular verbs, we only add ed at the end of each word. And the irregular verbs, they take a different form. So I'm going to give you a list of the irregular verbs. It's a big list, and the best way to learn this is practicing. You have to practice every day, and this may take some time, but with practice you will be able to do it. So I'm going to divide the irregular verbs per class. We're going to learn at least 10. Today we're going to be working with 10 irregular verbs. Tomorrow we'll work with another 10 and so on until we cover all of them. Because if I give you all of them at once, you won't be able to remember. Okay, so we have to practice, we have to go over them. Not all of at once. All right, so as I was saying, the regular verbs, you just add ed at the end. For example, I'm going to give you the word work. Work is a regular verb. We can add ed at the end and it will be worked. Another regular verb could be watch. Yesterday I watched a movie. So we add ed at the end and it's in the past. So as I told you before, the regular verbs are easy. So as you learn and go through these verbs, it will be easier for you to recognize. That's why we have to practice a lot, so you will be able to identify them. All right. So I'm going to give you the first 10 irregular verbs, so you can write them down. And I also have a copy that I'm going to give you, but I need you to write them down in your notebooks as well, because the most you practice, the most you write them down, your brain will remember. So I'm going to give you the most common irregular verbs. and we'll be going through the others later. Okay, the first irregular verb that I'm going to give you is be. Well, this one I already gave you, so, but anyways, I need you to write it down. So what's the past of be? Who can tell me? Correct. Was and where. Okay, the next word is become. The simple past of become is became. The next word is begin, and the past is began. The next word is bite, and the simple past is beat. The next word is break, and the simple past is broke. The next word is buy, and the simple past is bought. The next word is choose, and the simple past is chose. And we also are going to be practicing the pronunciation, okay? Because sometimes you mispronounce the words, and you have to pronounce them correctly. Okay, the next word is do, and the simple past is did. How many we have? Okay. Next word is drink, and the simple past is drunk. The next word is eat, and the simple past is ate. Okay, so that's it. We're going to be working with those 10 verbs for now. And tomorrow we'll be working with 10 more, and so on until we cover all of them, okay? So remember, this topic is just practice, a lot of practice. I'm going to give you an activity. We are going to work. I need you to take your you have your index cards with you, and you are going to write the word in the front of the card, and on the back you're going to write the past, the simple past of the verb. Okay, when you finish doing this, we're going to work in an activity. What are we going to do? You're going to work in pairs, okay? You're going to take turns, because this is a good way to practice your irregular verbs. So you're going to take turns with your classmate. Your classmate is going to pick one card, and he's going to read the verb, and you have to say it in the simple past. For example, if the word is be, what you have to say. What's the simple past of be? Was and where. Good. So you are going to be doing this with your classmates, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do it. And after this, we're going to work in something else. Okay? So 5 minutes. Okay, so we are going to continue with the negative form of the simple past. So the subject, and for the simple past we have to use an auxiliary. This auxiliary is did not or didn't. For example, I didn't study. What happens here is that the verb doesn't change. The verb stays in the base form. So we don't change the verb. So the subject, for example, I didn't study, you didn't study, he didn't study, she didn't study, it didn't study, we didn't study, you didn't study, they didn't study. It's going to be the same with all the verbs, and the auxiliary will be the same. Okay, so I need you to write this down. I need you to copy this on your notebooks. It is really important to do it, because this way you will be able to review and study. Okay, so we'll be making exercises with this later. And now I'm going to introduce the questions. Okay, so for the questions, we are going to use an auxiliary too, which is did. So this is going to be used with all the subjects. For example, I'm going to make a question in simple past. Did he feel sad yesterday? Did you feel sad yesterday? Did you study English yesterday? Did you do your homework? Did they have dinner? Did I go to the beach? So when we use the auxiliary in the simple past, we don't change the verb. The verb will keep the base form. We don't have to change it. We don't say, did he watch TV? We don't say, did you went to the movies? We don't say that. If that's wrong. When we use the auxiliary in the simple past, we don't change the verb. So this is really important, and you have to remember this. So we only be changing the verb in the positive when we are talking in affirmative. Don't forget about this. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask right now. You can raise your hands, and I will be helping you if you have any doubts. And And for homework, I am going to send you, so I need you on to take your books with you, because you will have to complete page number 83, where you will find a reading, and this reading is about my last vacations. This reading, in this reading, you will have to underline all the irregular verbs. It's not a long reading, it's a short reading. So you are going to underline all the irregular verbs, and those irregular verbs, I need you to write them down. Okay, I need you to copy them onto your notebooks and bring them tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be covering more. Do you remember that we have a list of the irregular verbs? So tomorrow we'll be covering the rest of the verbs, of the regular verbs. So bring me that tomorrow, and that will be your homework. Okay. All right, thank you so much. That will be all for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.